Recently, I was in a local event in Munich where we, together with C-level management of German companies, discussed about AI and strategy to implement it in your companies. And we found out that there are issues in implementations of AI in companies, how to understand what is important, which tools are useful for people and not just randomly implement AI, and how to convince management to dedicate budget for that. If you are now thinking about the strategy to implement AI in your company or project department, then stay tuned, we will now discuss all the details. Hello everyone, welcome to Psychology in Business. Victoria here, psychologist and business lady with more than a decade of experience in leadership positions in technology companies such as, for example, BMW. AI, artificial intelligence, is now everywhere, everyone knows it and at least uses ChatGPT, well known. Yet still, there is an issue when the secret data of your company will go to somewhere when people are uncontrollably using, for example, that ChatGPT. So you as a manager or the owner of the company should understand how exactly people use tools, which tools are helpful and important for them, and how to centralize, create the governance for everything, all the tools, and develop something specifically for your needs, which would be helpful and will boost your performance. Let's start from the baseline of all the changes. How do we make introduction of new tools in the company? Do we make it top-down or bottom-up? Let me give you the metaphor of the country. Imagine that your company or project department is a country. From the leadership of the country to people to implement or change something, without asking people, top-down approach without knowing what they actually want or without taking care of what people want. It's called dictatorship. If you have bottom-up approach, if people are saying, that's it, we cannot live like that, we will do this or that, you don't understand us, we go against you. Bottom-up without management or leadership of that country is a revolution. Top-down dictatorship, bottom-up revolution, in let's say democratical way, is a combination of top-down and bottom-up. So, of course, we make decisions on a top level because leadership of the company or leadership of the country in this metaphor knows way more than people. Leadership of the company or country understands the budget, the collaboration with others, stakeholders, partners, the situation on the market, and so on. Of course, the decision will be up to the leadership because they are hired specifically for that. We hire management for the company and we hire the politicians to take care about the country. But those decisions are made based on the wish of people. So we hear the voices, we hear what people want. And usually, actually, people know way better how they can optimize their own work than the management knows. Let me give you another example. In ancient time, there was a huge revolution when the wheel was invented. And during the history of our mankind, there were many moments of breakthrough because of such invention. AI is another one. So coming back to the wheel, imagine the board of members or management of that old village, very ancient times, and they are sitting and thinking how to apply the wheel, where exactly we can use the wheel. In our time, in our company or project or department, we have to do basically the same. We have AI and now we have to think how to apply, which use cases would be helpful for your specific needs. In ancient times, people would probably sit around the fire. Nowadays, in office realities, you probably would not make this, but you can organize the workshop. Invite people from different departments or different projects, or just people in your team, and think of those use cases which could be useful for your work. And then you can categorize them in those which are easily implemented and could be done during the work. Maybe some additional hours would be spent on that. Or those which are more expensive to implement, and then we need the approval of higher management for that. However, we also discussed it on that event, workshops are attractive usually for extroverts. Not everyone likes talking in big groups and presenting their ideas. It has some limitations. So you as a leader should think about everyone in your company to be able to give the vote and their opinion of what exactly would be improved. For this case, to hear everyone, I recommend this survey. It should be structured in a way that you have closed questions, which could be answered yes, no, and also open questions like what exactly would be improving this or that part of your work, which exactly process could be optimized in your area of work. And then we will think about solutions. We will think about those tools, AI or maybe not, to do it. Survey would cover everyone, and you can ask your managers to ask employees to give the feedback and so on. If you wish, you can make it anonymous, but in general, it's not a secret if people want to share. Give the possibility to write the name so that if person wants to talk further about this topic, they could be found and that idea could be addressed. If you need support in this journey, in the introduction of AI or implementation and teaching people how to use it, contact me by the link in the description and we will find the best way of our collaboration. I have lots of experience in business transformation and will gladly support you with the strategy and implementation. Another idea which I actually took from the vice president of a software company from that event, which I mentioned in the beginning of this video, is to use employees' performance appraisal every quarter and have for everyone in the company the goal to think about AI use cases. So that is the idea when people have to come up with some ideas every quarter as a part of their performance appraisal. So I would say this is the strongest tool because workshops are for people who want to participate. Survey you can theoretically still ignore if management doesn't ask you to do it again and you don't receive that email 3 times. But this is unavoidable. If your promotion theoretically depends on your ideas, then you will actually think about that. And then using one of this approach or maybe another approach which is applicable to you, we receive those ideas, then we would cluster them. For example, how to improve writing emails, how to improve the communication channels, how to improve sales, how to improve cold calls, how to improve everything the specific of your company. So each process could be optimized. And then we will think about tools. Some tools could be actually already invented by this or another team. So sometimes the companies are so big that tools, solutions are already existing in one part, but absolutely unknown in another part of the organization, which is absolutely anti-efficient. So we have to make sure that we analyze and top down look at this and then spread the knowledge. Maybe budget is not needed at all. You can actually do it for free by just talking to each other, which is actually quite often the problem. That could be an issue that people do not talk to each other, departments do not communicate, and that information, that invention will stay forever in the local place. In-house development for the tool specifically for your company, you would need budget and resources. Who is usually responsible for budget and resources? High management. And here we have another potential issues. The typical board of member is, let's say, not 25 years old people. They are usually typically from a different generation who did not use those tools, and therefore the mindset is we survived back then why do we need it now? You remember my analogy with the wheel? Of course, people existed before the invention of the wheel, for sure. But with the wheel, it's way faster and more effective. Of course, companies, all of us, the whole world existed without AI. But now with this invention, it will be faster and more effective. Companies which will not implement AI will slowly go down in their efficiency compared to other companies and then it will disappear completely. So AI is not something fancy, but it's a strategy to survive. However, management does not take only philosophical discussions. They need specific numbers. And here I have another good approach for you. In psychology, there is a distribution of people on the way how they adopt something new, whatever it is. It's new in fashion, it's new about cryptocurrency, it's new about design technologies, anything. So the spread is well known to you. There will be early adopters of that technology or approach, there will be the majority of people, and then late adopters, those people who do it just because it's unavoidable to not do it anymore. And it could be that in your organization, management belongs to the third category, just because they lived the whole life without it and now they have to change the whole mindset. It could be, but I have also a good news. It's a normal distribution curve, looks like that. So it's unavoidable that you have people who are early adopters. And to implement the change, you have to work directly with them. They are motivated by just the idea of the super cool new tool, of new approach, of changing and improving. Find out those people, for example, through the surveys, through talking to people and so on, the tools are already mentioned, and work with them. It could be that some hours per week are just enough, or the small budget allocation is needed. However, if you invent a small prototype and take it and explain to management, who could be in the majority or even slightly to the direction of late adopters, you will explain to management in their language, which is numbers actually, that this tool is very efficient and we need more budget to implement it top down, because we already know that people from bottom up want it. What I mean by numbers is that this tool will save us 20% of time for each employee, and this 20% of time could be allocated to more work done, or it could mean that we will not need so many people. For example, this tool will make the work 20% faster, or the software code will be written better, which means that we will save, again, 20% of time on bug fixing, or we will make more calls, or we will make more sales, and so on. So do it approximately with some numbers. It will be 20% more efficient. It will save us this amount of time or this amount of money per day, month, year. This is a language which is understood by top management of the company. You work with early adopters, you understand the numbers, how exactly we can improve, and then you go to management and explain and receive budget to go back and implement the change. When we are talking about diversity, it's not only about the gender, but it's also about the age, and it's actually about the mindset, the background of people. So if you implement that change, would actually accumulate the diverse opinions. You will build that diverse group directly sitting on the table or indirectly going from the one round of people to another round of people. But then you will have the diverse opinion, which is the best, because it collects expertise and strongest experienced approaches of different people. By the way, it's also very important to calculate the ROI for your management. So return of investment. If they spend, for example, 100,000 euro now, but in 1 year or in 2 years, we will have 2, 3, 400,000 euro back because we will save on hiring and so on productivity, it becomes very obvious that we have to introduce that tool or we have to invent that tool right now. So let's summarize. What can you do for your company or project, team, department, depends on the level you are. Evaluate on which level you are now, which topics are still open, conduct those surveys or workshops and discussions, cluster and summarize ideas, work with early adopters, with enthusiastic people who have sparkle in their eyes to change it and try something new with AI, or just make their own life easier with the help of AI. See the results, build a prototype, calculate numbers, and come with these numbers to your management, to board of member, or the leadership group who is responsible for the budget. Then you make the top-down strategic decisions, which tools we implement, where we allocate the budget, and how we train people to use them. By the way, it's very important to train people to use those tools because the wheel could be already invented, but there are some people in the village who don't know how to use that wheel. We have to make sure that everyone actually learns it. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with another AI enthusiast. Thank you for watching and see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.